The voices continued to drift through the air. It is fine. She is in the kitchen and cannot hear us, came Le Hue's reply. Tran Vien, we should really return to the bedroom. Hearing these words, Lamong could not help but blush, her face burning as if she were struck by a fever. She thought to herself, how shameless! What is the hurry? Are you intentionally provoking me? Do you intend to take both of us sisters in one night? Time moved swiftly. After 95 chapters, this moment had finally arrived. Within the small room, the two bodies moved in an intense rhythmic dance. 45 minutes passed. Tran Vien cradled the shivering Le Hue in his arms, his voice soothing as he asked, Miss Lei, are you holding up well? Le Hue looked up, her cheeks flushed, and whispered, Tran Vien, I am yours now. Above her head, her affection meter rose to 83 points. Tran Vien heard this and pulled her closer, thinking to himself, damn it, I have known this consultant for 3 years, and finally, I have tasted the fruit of my labor. My efforts have truly yielded results. He chuckled inwardly. Just an hour ago it was 80, yet now it had climbed to 83, and he reveled in the victory. Suddenly, Le Hue looked up and asked, my parents are visiting in 2 days. I want to speak to them about our relationship. If they wish to meet you, would you be willing to accompany me? Tran Vien smiled and replied, of course. That is only right. I am always happy to meet your parents. Upon hearing this, Le Hue leaned her head against Tran Vien's chest, smiling happily as she said, we are not even married yet. Why are you calling them parents already? No sooner had she spoken than Tran Vien's hands began to wander once more. Le Hue's eyes widened in astonishment. Again? Tran Vien replied, with a consultant as beautiful as you, naturally I must savor every moment. Without further ado, he plunged back into the depths of desire, relentless in his pursuit. By midnight, after 2 grueling bouts, Le Hue had finally succumbed to a deep sleep. Seeing this, Tran Vien thought, the consultant has finally drifted off. He rose quietly, slipped into the living room, poured himself a glass of water, and then cast a lingering gaze toward the door of Lamong's room. He contemplated. Lamong said she wanted to end our relationship. I wonder if she truly meant it, or if she was merely testing me. Shall I venture inside to see? With that thought, he approached the door and gently turned the handle. The door swung open. Tran Vien mused, it is unlocked. That proves she was hoping I would come inside. He walked to the bedside and whispered, pretending to sleep? Stop the charade. Lamong could not help but startle. She blushed and asked, You are still capable of more? Tran Vien offered a lecherous grin and replied, what do you think? Lamong asked again, what about my sister? Is she all right? Tran Vien pulled her into his embrace and answered, she is perfectly fine, though quite exhausted from my efforts. That is why she has already fallen asleep. Lamong responded, her voice trembling, very well. Our roommate arrangement shall continue for 1 more day. But let this be clear. This is the final time. Scarcely had she finished speaking when Tran Vien used his special techniques to silence her, reminding her, from this point on, you have no authority to end our arrangement. Everything between us is decided by me. Do you understand? In that moment, no matter what Tran Vien said, Lamong could only obediently reply, yes. Seeing this, he looked at her and asked, what should you call me? Lamong remained silent. Sensing this, Tran Vien gripped her hands tightly and pressed, if you refuse to speak, I shall give you 1 more opportunity. Finally, Lamong whispered softly, brother-in-law. The moment those words left her lips, it was as if Tran Vien had been granted an elixir of endless vigor. He immediately plunged back into the fray with renewed intensity. Time hurried on to the following morning. After a night of 3 exhausting rounds, Tran Vien slowly opened his eyes. He reached out to feel the space beside him, his eyes widening in shock as he realized the truth. He was dead. He then hurriedly sat up, scanned his surroundings, and let out a sigh of relief. Thank goodness, all was well. It was the room of Counselor Gu. Upon waking, he had mistakenly thought he was in Lamong Ko's room, and nearly terrified himself out of his wits. At that very moment, Le Hue knocked and entered, asking with a smile, awake already? Come out quickly and have breakfast. Hearing this, Tran Vien gestured for her to come closer, saying, isn't breakfast supposed to be you? Come here, let me have a little more. Le Hue did not deign to answer, turning away with a reddened face as she said, if you don't come out, the breakfast will go cold. Tran Vien then jumped out of bed and said, very well. I am coming right now. Sitting at the dining table, the atmosphere was awkward to the point of absurdity. The 2 Li sisters sat there, each casting shifty, nervous glances about the room. Seeing this, Tran Vien chuckled deviously, finding the situation quite amusing. It seemed both sisters were terrified of their actions from the previous night being discovered. With this thought, he extended his foot to nudge Le Hue, causing her to blush a deep crimson. His other foot was equally restless, prodding toward Lamong. However, unlike her sister, Lamong muttered a curse. Despicable. Not stopping there, Tran Vien continued to provoke the 2 sisters via text message. He messaged Le Hue, Miss Legrai, you are not only a talented teacher, but your personal guidance is also truly exceptional. I shall certainly return to learn more another day. Upon reading this, Liu blushed, thinking how the seemingly upright phrase, personal guidance, had been twisted by Tramvien to the point where she could barely look him in the eye. On the other side, he messaged Lamong. Did your brother-in-law cause you any pain last night? If you are no longer in pain, squint at me once. If you are still in pain, squint at me twice. Upon reading this, Lamong could not help but curse inwardly. This rotten pig. Once finished, she slammed her foot down hard onto Tramvien's. Stung by the intense pain, Tramvien immediately spat out the food in his mouth and let out a sharp cry. Ah! Liu asked with concern. What is the matter? Tramvien suppressed the pain and replied, It is nothing. I just swallowed too quickly and bit my tongue. Seeing this, Lamong felt a sense of triumph. HMPH, let's see if you dare to pull such stunts again in the future. After sitting for a while, Tramvien turned and suggested, Counselor, let me buy you a car. Liu hurriedly refused. No, no need. I do not require a car. It only takes 20 minutes to walk to school from here. If I bought a car, it would probably take less than 5 minutes. I enjoy walking. It is good for one's health, Tramvien responded. Your skin is so fair. If you keep walking like that, you are bound to get sunburned. Lamong then chimed in. Sister, if he wants to gift it to you, just accept it. Besides, he is hardly short on money. Liu replied. I know he is not short on money, but one cannot spend it recklessly. Furthermore, I truly do not need a car. Tramvien caressed her cheek. You feel you don't need one only because you rarely drive. Once you begin driving regularly, you will find that you cannot live without it. Witnessing this scene, Lamong could not help but feel agitated. This scoundrel of a man. If you want to buy it, just buy it. Why must you touch her right in front of me? Are you intentionally trying to provoke me?